Hi, this is Brian Forrester, and today we're exploring the ancient site of Inkilltambo, located outside of Cusco, Peru. Now, the pyramidal structures you're looking at now will be part of a future video. So it's still astonishing that there are thousands of miles of Inca roads and trails that still have the stone retaining walls that you can see there. And on this day, we were very fortunate to have Dr. Teo Paredes as our guide. He's an absolute expert of the area. What you're looking at here, you might think is Inca, but in fact is a colonial Spanish brick oven that has, of course, been abandoned. But where we have set our sights on is Inkilltambo, and unfortunately I was not able to get the proper translation. Tambo means inn or resting place, and this was a location in Inca times where people would stop and worship and do other activities on their way from Cusco to the Sacred Valley and back. This is the site of Inkilltambo, and what's intriguing about it is a combination of Inca and much older megalithic work, which we are going to see. And the site has been beautifully restored and maintained by the Peruvian government quite recently at the cost of more than $1 million. So it's wonderful that they have spent this much time and effort on a site that probably 10 to 15 people visit per day. So here we are crossing over a little wooden bridge, which of course would have been a wooden bridge as well during Inca times. And we're going to be looking at some very rough Inca stonework, some very fine Inca stonework, and some mysterious megalithic work, which, as I said, is clearly much older than the Inca. So here you get a sense of scale of Inkilltambo. Lots and lots of agricultural terracing, so it was able to accompany or accommodate quite a number of people on their journey from Cusco to the Sacred Valley and back, and it was a major center during Inca times. Of course, my personal interest, aside from loving Inca work, are the megalithic structures that we find at many of the Inca locations. And here's quite a fine example of very good Inca stone polygonal construction. You can see how tight-fitting the stones are. Unfortunately, again, centuries of damage and neglect, but some very good restoration work. And here, the megalithic aspect. I'm able to actually walk into this channel at least 30 feet inside, and there are two interesting chambers at the end, one on the left side, one on the right side, that are very resonant in nature. So it would appear that the original function of this, whoever it was who made megalithic work like that, which we don't know, was vibrational or acoustic in nature. So as we go in reasonably close, you can see that the surfaces are extremely weathered, even these inner surfaces. So that tells us that they are very ancient, and so much erosion that there, excuse me, very little sign of tool marks. But upon closer examination, after we have this view here, we're going to see, in fact, that there are tool marks, or at least this is a great example of a polished surface, which I'm going to put my finger up against to show you a sense of scale. This vertical surface, narrow though it is much more highly polished and is slightly deeper than the surrounding surfaces. So this clearly is evidence of some kind of ancient machine technology being involved. And there we have a view of the major megalithic aspect and Inca retaining walls. And at one time, this entire valley, stretching for miles, was terraced by the Inca. Unfortunately, once again, due to time and neglect, many of the andenes, which are the name of the terraces, have collapsed. But here is another very fine example of Inca craftsmanship. And in the background, we have the side area of the main megalithic structure. So again, strange indentations into the stone, transitioning into fine Inca work. And here again, another great example of Inca craftsmanship, transitioning into the megalithic. And here Dr. Teo Paredes is showing us the sense of scale and the accuracy of the Inca stonework. Now around the back side, again we see cut surfaces. You see those major indentations. And then here, more indentations on the back surface, the Inca on the left transitioning into the megalithic, and then back to the Inca again on the right-hand side. And finally, an overview of Inkilltambo. So please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in traveling with me, we'll be going to India in January of 2020, exploring lost ancient high technology evidence. And then in March, our annual tour of lost ancient high technology and metaphysics of Egypt. And right after that, we'll be exploring megalithic aspects in Israel. So everything is at hiddenincatours.com.